All right, for this video, we're going to remove a site from Siteground. So the scenario would be that we have built a site and we're going to migrate them over to WP Engine, or for whatever other reason, we need to extract a site that we have built from Siteground. So I have the kind of the cheat sheet over on the left. I'm going to use that as my base. And the main objective here is to hit all of these pieces. What you'll find is that sometimes if you create, like when you create an add-on domain for a site that we're going to host, it automatically creates, SiteGround automatically creates a subdomain for us. So if it was, patty.com, the example we used before, you would eliminate that add-on domain and then go check to make sure that the subdomain was removed as well. And then check the FTP user and all those kind of things. So we're just going to kind of go down top to bottom. We know that we created a subdomain. So for example, if I go to add-on domains and I say show me 100, there is no Patty in here because it was not an add-on domain. So if I go back to the cPanel and go to subdomains and do the same thing, let's go to 100. Now we will see, if I get down there, Patty at madcowweb.net. Awesome sauce. So I'm just going to remove it. Are you sure you want to remove it? Fine. It has been removed. So I go back. I don't need to check it, but I will just to be sure. I go down to my P's and there is no Patty anymore. So perfect. We get that one squared away. I'm going to go back to my cPanel. Now what happens when you create these at Siteground is they create a bunch of other things. So one of the things they create is an FTP account. So if I go into FTP accounts, and I go to page 2, what has happened is because we've removed the subdomain, it has removed the FTP account for us, so we're all set with that one. If we had done this in a reverse order, then fine, it would not have gone. So it would not have been gone. So the next thing is the database. So if I go to MySQL databases, I'm going to go. Well, where was that? Was it 4? Yeah. So here's Patty still hanging out. So I'm going to delete that. Delete the database. I have successfully deleted it. I'm still in that database area. So the other thing I want to get rid of is the user. And here's my Patty user. So we're going to delete that user. Delete MySQL user. I go back and we scroll down. We'll see that Patty is gone. So now the subdomain is gone, the FTP user, database, and database user. And then the last thing is all the files from the server. So we could do this through FTP, but I'm going to do it through the file manager at Siteground because it's a lot faster. So if I scroll down, I'll find the file manager. On the left-hand side, everything is under public HTML. If you recall, we put this under madcowweb.net, which is right here. And then if I click on Patty, all the stuff is still in there. So because we've deleted the subdomain and we've deleted everything else, the database, the FTP account, everything, I really don't even need this folder anymore because it truly does not exist. So if I come back up one level to madcowweb.net and I click on Patty, I can simply delete it. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. And now Patty's gone. And it just so happens that I have the website still up here. So if I hit refresh, it just blows up because it just doesn't, there is nothing in there for Patty, and all is gone. What that did remind me of, by the way, is that we did create an SSL certificate. So I'm going to come over here and say remove SSL certificate. So let's go back and try and find that. So this opened up a new tab. So my cPanel is still over here. I can close this tab actually. And let's go down to Let's Encrypt. And I believe it was on page 2. So it is also gone. So one thing that drives me batty about SiteGround is they don't put these in alphabetical order. I'm assuming they're in the order that they were created. But anyway, you can see that Patty is not here. And if we look up the domain, we can see that domain no longer exists. So apparently when you delete the subdomain, the SSL goes away as well, which is pretty handy. So, and that's basically it. Now at this point, there's no subdomain. We would have eliminated the add-on domain, of course. There's no FTP account. There's no database. There's no database user. And all the files of that site are now removed from the server. And we didn't have to mess with the certificate because it comes off already. So that's how you remove a site entirely from SiteGround.